Hallikar, a native of Karnataka. In the Indian tradition, the status of mother is raised to the level of goddess. And the cow is no less than a mother, a sacred maternal figure, a symbol of Kamadhenu, the miraculous cow of plenty, a source of all prosperity. India, the land of the holy cows, is the abode of 30 crore cattle, the largest cattle population in the world, followed by Brazil and China. With 40 different variants of pure breeds, they are broadly classified into 3 categories. The first category, like Sahiwal, Gir, Tharparkar, and Rathi, are well known for large quantity of milk production. The second category, like Kankraj, Ongole, and Haryana, belong to dual breeds that are both known for milk production and survival qualities under drought conditions. The third category are known as drought breeds. They give less milk but are known for hard work in the field as well as pulling loaded carts. The one among the drought breed is the native of Karnataka state, popularly called Hallikar. They are more commonly found in the traditional Hallikar belt of Mysuru, Mandya, Hassan, and Tumkur districts of South Karnataka.
Hallikar is known for its endurance and hard work. Since the times of Maharajas, this Hallikar breed has been very well developed by the Maharajas of Mysore dynasty for draft purpose. But there are some good milkers also among them. Mainly they are found in Tumkur, Chitrurga, Mysore and Mandya district. But because of their utility in agricultural operations, they have been taken to far off districts out of the breeding tract to Gadag, Ballari, Raichur, even Davangere for agricultural operations and earlier for rural transport.
Today's discussion is Hallikar's breed cows. So we have 2 types basically to know about this. We call them as buffalo breed and cattle breed. Cattle breed consists of cows where we rear them for milk and also the oxen for the work. It is believed that from Amrut Mahal this Hallikar breed has originated. The Hallikar breed is supposed to be very strong and sturdy, and it is indigenous one, that is the native variety of India, and these breeds have come into existence by the breeders who have used these cattle breeding for almost 2000 years for their sturdy nature, and once a loaded cart they can pull them for around 40 miles per day, and their legs are very long and muscular strength is very high, and also they are drought resistant.
2 species of cows exist today in the world. The humpless taurine cow, Bos taurus, which is domesticated in Europe and North America, and the humped Jebu cow, Bos indicus, that occurs in India and Asian countries. The Hallikar is a Bos indicus breed of cattle selected primarily for drought purposes.
This breed of cattle we call them as Bos taurus, the exotic variety, that is Holstein and Jersey variety. Bos indicus is our native variety. Now if we talk about the strengths and weaknesses of Bos taurus and Bos indicus, Bos indicus has strength and endurance and used for draft purpose, and it also for trotting, and especially it can withstand the drought conditions, the environmental conditions which are very severe, and also they are resistant to local diseases, and they are used for reproduction, and oxen cart racing they are used. But whereas if you go for Bos taurus, it is a intensive farming. If you compare to Bos indicus is semi-intensive because they can eat any fodder that is readily available. The grass that is cut from the fields they can use. They don't need any special feeder. Whereas if you go to Bos taurus, it is intensive breeding and intensive farming. What we have to do for them is, first, intensive management is their fodder is specially designed. You cannot deviate from that design of the feed. The moment you deviate and give a local fodder, the milk yield will go down. And also, artificial insemination has to be done. So you have to purchase the semen, which will be very costly, and in the semen also, procuring the semen may be a Herculean task. And the medicines, hormones, everything has to be given periodically to maintain these exotic varieties. And these are not disease resistant, they are not drought resistant. If the conditions are not maintained to suit to their conditions, then they get some disease and die away. Whereas our local varieties, that is Bos indicus, will sustain the environmental conditions and diseases. So we have all kinds of advantages by having Bos indicus, both milk wise and also for the muscle strength and the work that it can give in the field.
Hallikar is considered one of the premier drought cattle breeds in India. A few families in each village have been breeding these cattle for generations. In order to develop this breed, the state of Karnataka has undertaken a policy of selective breeding. In Turuvekere in Hassan district, the government farm has a herd of Hallikar bulls and cows. Also in Hesaraghatta, the government has maintained Hallikar bulls in prime health conditions for protecting and propagating pure breeds.
Hallikar is one of those 6 indigenous breeds, and it's a very important breed from the purpose of agriculture operations as well as for the draft. It is very sturdy animal and it can pull a huge amount of load also. At present, to conserve the Hallikar breeds, we are having a farm at Tumkur district, Kunikehalli, where we have got a bull mother farm and we have got the semen production center also for the artificial insemination.
ನಮ್ಮ ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಮಾರು 45,400 ಚಿಲ್ಲರೆ ಹಳ್ಳಿಕಾರ್ ದನಗಳಿದ್ದಾವೆ. ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಈ ಹಳ್ಳಿಕಾರ್ ರಾಸು ಏನಿದೆ ಅದು ಉತ್ತಮವಾದಂಥ ಬೇಸಾಯಕ್ಕೆ ಅನುಕೂಲವಾದಂಥ ಮತ್ತು ಉಳುಮೆಗೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಕಾರ್ಯಗಳಿಗೆ ಅನುಕೂಲವಾದಂಥ ರಾಸು, ದಷ್ಟಪುಷ್ಟವಾಗಿ ಬೆಳೆದಿರುವಂಥ ರಾಸು, ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆಯಾಗಿ ಇದು ರೋಗ ನಿರೋಧಕ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಇರುವಂಥ ರಾಸು, ಜೊತೆಗೆ ರೈತರ ಸ್ನೇಹಿಯಾಗಿದೆ. ಇದರ ಬರುವಂಥ ಗೊಬ್ಬರ ಮತ್ತು ಹಾಲು ಉತ್ಕೃಷ್ಟವಾದ ಗುಣಮಟ್ಟದಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ರೈತರಿಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಉಪಕಾರಿಯಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ.
Hallikar cattle are smaller sized animals with moderate height and medium size of the body. They are generally white to grey in color and occasionally black complexions. There are white markings or irregular patches around their eyes, cheeks, neck, or in the shoulder region. Both bulls and cows have horns, and their horns are long, vertical, and backward bending. The bulls have large humps, while the cows have relatively small humps than the bulls. Young breeding Hallikar bulls have dark shade on shoulder and hind quarters. The Hallikar cattle are very hardy and active animals. The bulls are known for their strength and endurance and are primarily used for trot purposes. The breed is also used for kart racing. A team of Hallikar oxen can pull a loaded cart over rough roads at a rate of 40 miles per day. They can perform well if fed with green fodder like finger millet, green grass, sorghum and pearl millet.
ಸರ್ ನಾಡಸುನಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಮೇಯಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸಾಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಹೆಣ್ಗರ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಕಾಸಾಯ್ತದೆ, ಒಂದು ಓರಿ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಕಾಸಾಯ್ತದೆ. ಇನ್ನು ಹಾಲಿನಲ್ಲೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳೆಲ್ಲ ಕುಡಿಬೋದು. ಇಲಾತಿ ಹಸಿನ ಹಾಲು ಕುಡಿಯೋಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಚ್ಛವಾಗಿರಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ, ನಾಡಸಿನ ಹಾಲು ಸ್ವಚ್ಛವಾಗಿರ್ತದೆ, ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಗಟ್ಟಿ ಪುಷ್ಟತೆ ಆಹಾರ ಅದು. ಆದರೂ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಮಾಡವ್ರೆ, ಇಲಾತಿ ಹಸುಗಳು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡವ್ರೆ.
An adult male weighs around 340 kilos and the female weighs around 230 kilos. The age at first calving ranges from 915 to 1800 days, and subsequently the average calving interval is around 600 days. The Hallikar cows are average milk producers and on an average can produce up to 540 liters of milk per lactation. Milk of the Hallikar cows is of high quality and tastes sweet. Hallikar milk contains 5.7% of fat, much higher than the Holstein cow, which has 3.7% fat content. It is believed that the native cow milk is extremely good for growing children and helps in enhancing physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being of human beings.
Now, of late, there is much of talk about the A1 and A2 milk that is produced. A1 milk is got from the exotic animal, that is Holstein breed, and A2 milk is got from our native variety, that is our Zebu cattle. A1 milk consists of 6 minerals and fat content is less, whereas our Zebu cattle, that is local variety, there are 22 minerals and also the fat content is 5.7%. And not only that, there are many more health advantages that have been going over the world. A1 milk comes from non-humped cattle, and this one is gastrointestinal allergies are caused. It causes irregular bowel syndrome and also autism, and also it is supposed to lead to diabetes 1. A1 milk also is supposed to enhance the fat deposition in the arteries, leading to heart problems. So it is said that A1 milk will enhance and will promote this disease to appear earlier in life, whereas A2 will help in suppressing the appearance of the disease in an infant. And they also have found that A2 milk will not enhance autism. If children are taking A2 milk, they have found that autism characteristics have come down drastically. Plus, children who are having lactose intolerance, if they are given A2 milk, this kind of lactose intolerance has come down and their intelligence coefficient also has increased.
70% of native cows are owned by the economically poor farmers who are unable to give healthy feed to the cows, making them prone to malnutrition, diseases, and premature aging. These native denizens receive no support, no encouragement, no incentives. As a result, the neglected native cows are abandoned.
ನಮ್ಮ ಸರ್ಕಾರದಿಂದ ಯಾವುದೇ ಅನುದಾನ ರೈತರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಅನುದಾನ ನಾಡದನಿಗೆ ಯಾವುದೋ ಅನುದಾನ ಸಿಗ್ತಾಯಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ನಮಗೆ. ಯಾವುದೇ ಸರ್ ಇಲಾತಿ ಹಸುಗಳಿಗೆ ಇಂಜೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಟೂಬ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಇಲಾತಿ ಕರ ಆಗ್ತಾವೆ, ನಾಡಸ್ಗಳನ್ನಾಗ ಬೆಲೆನೇ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಮಾಡಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್. ಇವಾಗ ಅದ್ರ ಹಾಲು ಭಾರಿ ಪವಿತ್ರವಾದದ್ದು, ಅದ್ರ ಹಾಲನ್ನೇ ಉಪಯೋಗ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತಾಯಿಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಜನಗಳಿಗೆ.
ಇವಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಪ್ರೋತ್ಸಾಹನ ಸರ್ಕಾರದಿಂದ ಏನಂತ ಪ್ರೋತ್ಸಾಹ ಕೊಡ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ ಮುಂದಿನ ದಿನಗಳಾದರೂ ಸಹ ನಮ್ಮ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಯಥೇಚ್ಚು ಸಹಾಯಧನ ಪ್ರೋತ್ಸಾಹಧನ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಸಾಕೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಖರ್ಚು ವೆಚ್ಚ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸರಿದೋಗುತ್ತೆ.
ಇದು ನಮ್ಮ ನಾಡ್ದನ ಒಂದು ಓರ್ಗಾರ ಹಾಕಲಿ ಒಂದು ಹೆಣ್ಗಾರ ಹಾಕಲಿ ಉಪಯೋಗ ಇದೆ. ಹಾಲು ಮಕ್ಕಳುಗಳಿಗಾಗಲಿ ಬಾಣ್ತಿರ್ಗಾಗಲಿ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದಕ್ಕೂ ಒಳ್ಳೇದಿದು ನಾಡಸಿಂದು. ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಇಲಾತಿ ಹಸಿನಿಂದ ಏನು ಉಪಯೋಗ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಮ್ಮ ನಾಡ್ದನ ಇದ್ದರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಉಪಯೋಗ. ಈ ತಿಂಡಿ ಹಾಳು ಮುಳಂದ ಕೊಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇಲಾತಿ ಯಾವುದೋ ಕೊಡೋದು, ಆ ಕಾಯಿಲೆ ಈ ಕಾಯಿಲೆಲ್ಲ ಜನಕಂಟ್ಗಳದು. ಇಲಾತಿ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಟೂಬ್ ಕೊಡ್ಸೋದು, ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಮಾಡ್ಸೋದು, ಅದರಿಂದ ಜನಗಳಿಗೆ ಇಡೀ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದು ನಮ್ಮ ನಾಟಿದನಿಗೆ ಏನು ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷನ್ನು ಕೊಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕಿಲ್ಲ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದೇನಲ್ಲ ಪ್ಯೂರ್ ಓರಿ ಕಡಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ಫಲ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊತದೆ, ನಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದಾಗಿರ್ತದೆ.
More than 50 lakhs of unproductive stray cows are roaming in the cities and villages of the country. On the other hand, adding insult to injury, there is overwhelming support to big farmers for purchasing foreign cows.
ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಮತ್ತು ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ನ ಮಿಲ್ಕ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ನ ಮೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿದ್ದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದರು, ಫಾರಿನ್ ಬ್ರೀಡ್ಸ್ನ ತಗೊಬಂದರು. ಆವಾಗ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ತಳಿಗಳನ್ನು ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಬ್ರೀಡ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಬ್ರೀಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದರಿಂದ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಹಾಲು ಪಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ವಿ. ಆ ಹಾಲು ಪಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದರಿಂದ ಈಗ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಥರದ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಟಿವ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಅಷ್ಟಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ ವೆನ್ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಟು ಅವರ್ ದೇಸಿ ಬ್ರೀಡು. ನಾವು ಹಾಲಿಗಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಬ್ರೀಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಹಾಲಿನ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ನೇನೋ ಮೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಆದರೆ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಟಿವ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂನ ಮೀಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಇದುವರೆಗೂ. ಈ ಥರ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಹಾಲು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಹೊರತು ಅದರಿಂದ ಏನು ನಮಗೇನು ಉತ್ತಮವಾದ ಪೋಷಕಾಂಶಗಳೇನು ಸಿಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಹಳ್ಳಿಕಾರು ಮತ್ತು ಬೇರೆ ದೇಶಿ ತಳಿ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಯಾವುದೇ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಆ ಬ್ರೀಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಸು ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ.
The misguided policy of cross-breeding with exotic ones from Europe is rampant. As a result, the native pure breeds, who are well adapted to adverse climatic conditions and are disease resistant, are decreasing drastically. Ironically, some breeds like Sindhi, Sahiwal and Punganur are heading towards extinction. If this trend continues, it will cause irreparable damage to the very existence of these rugged native animals, and a few might vanish altogether forever. Hallikar has survived the long journey of life because of its robustness and native genetic strength. To commemorate the Hallikar contribution to society, the Postal Department of India honored the Hallikar breed by releasing the stamp in the year 2000. But much more is needed from government agencies. Otherwise, the day is not far off when these fine animals, whom we proudly boast as our second mother, will become part and parcel of our rich history and tradition.